Google Keyword Planner is an often ignored and underutilized resource, but it's something that I absolutely love to work with. And I'll tell you why. Because even though Google gives us this tool with their intention being predicting the budget that we're going to be spending on Google AdWords, well, the real purpose that I want to use it for and to show you how to use it is to predict the demand for products that we are thinking about selling, so that we don't put all of our money into inventory for a product that we're not sure if it's going to sell. So this is what we can do within Keyword Planner. It's a free tool that you can get by registering your AdWords account, going to the top of the page, going to Tools. Within Tools, you'll see Keyword Planner. And within the Keyword Planner, you can then put in the keywords for a product that you're thinking about buying or thinking about selling. And you can see how many people in South Africa are currently searching for that product. Of course, the more people that are searching for it, the better. You can also get an idea, because if it's a small market niche product, as long as there's a few people searching for it, that's still a good sign. And if there's a lot of people searching for it, well, that's even better, because you can also then go and look at how many people are selling this product. Because if there's nobody selling the product and there's a lot of people searching for the product, well, you may have just found yourself a winner. So let's dive into the software and take a look at how this works. So in order to get into the tool that we're talking about, all you need to do is to log into your Google AdWords campaign or AdWords account. It's free to set up so long as you have a Google account, which is free to get also. Once you're inside your Google AdWords interface, look at the Tools section on the top, which opens up this window, and the Keyword Planner is what we are looking for. So you open up that, it gives you two options. We want to look at search volume forecasts. That's what we're looking at. And this is where the magic happens. So I've got a few keywords prepared. It's stuff that I'm familiar with. And this is quite simple for you to operate, because very quickly, very easily, it gives us the answers to the question that we want to know about how many people in South Africa are looking for the product that we're thinking about selling. So in this example, well, in any example, impressions is what you're looking for. And in this example, you can see that the keywords that I've put in here have varying degrees of success. So some are very popular, others are less popular. And then you can use this by putting in different keywords for the product that you're thinking about selling, put in the brand name, put in the product type, the product category, put in competitor products to figure out how many people in South Africa are looking and typing for this product in South Africa right now. That then answers your question of whether you think you're going to sell any, because if there's few impressions, then that means that there may be very few sales. But if there's a lot of impressions and there's not many people selling it, well, then that could be a good product to be selling. The question that I get a lot at this stage is, what's the right number of impressions? Because an impression, just for going two steps back here, an impression is when somebody comes to Google and they type in the keyword. So for these impressions, somebody would have typed in GoPro. For the one above here, the one at the top, somebody would have typed in GoPro incorrectly. And it's a term that I like advertising against, because I get cheaper return on my advertising spend, because not many people are targeting that keyword. So simply, if somebody types in the keyword that you've put in here, then this is the amount of people in a given month that are currently typing in that keyword. So you know that if there are 7,471 people searching for this keyword, then, well, that's pretty good, because hopefully that would turn into sales. But what is the right level of impressions that you should be looking for? What's the sweet spot? Well, the answer is, it depends. It's kind of like saying how long is a piece of string, because it depends on the type of product and the type of market and the commoditization level of this product. If you are selling something that is mass market, like, let's go to the far end of the spectrum. If you're selling a can of Coke, you'd see that there are millions of people searching for that product, or actually people would be buying that online. So that's a terrible example, but you get the point. There's a lot of people searching for it, so there's going to be a lot of impressions, which also means there's lots of competition. Competition is not always a bad thing, but it's good to be aware of it. At the other end of the scale is products that are very niche, where you can have very few people searching for that product, and then you've got to look at that and make a decision for yourself to say, is that enough people searching for the product where I think I'm going to sell a lot? I'll give you an example of this. In my previous business, we were selling very expensive drones. When I say very expensive, they were between 200,000 and 300,000 Rand per drone. Now we came and looked at this tool. We typed in the product names, exactly how they appear. And we were quite interested to see there was about 150 people in South Africa in any month searching for those products. Now 150 is very low, but this is a 200,000 to 300,000 Rand drone. So there's not many people who would search it without intent to purchase. So that small number of 150 impressions gave us the confidence to go and put money into inventory and import stock of those drones. And guess what? We sold them. So you need to make a decision for yourself in terms of the level of impressions and how that relates to the product that you're selling and the market that you're selling it to. So that really sums up what I wanted to show you within the Google Keyword Planner. But while we're here, there's still a lot of value to be had from this tool. So I want to show you some cool other stuff we can do within this tool in terms of predicting how much money we're going to make if we start selling these products. So in this example, you can see at the top, they've taken a summary of the keywords that I've given, and they said that the forecast for these keywords is that in the next 30 days, we would have 20,000 impressions that would equal 1,100 clicks through to the site, which gives us an advertising spend of 5,100 Rand and all this stuff. So that is all good and well, but it doesn't really answer the question for us of how much money am I going to make? So we need to add in, we need to enter in some critical information, which is going to help us to understand more about this. So the conversion metrics that we're going to add, importantly, we need to know if we're getting 1,000 clicks, 1,000 visitors to our site, well, we know that we have something called a conversion rate. So a conversion rate is from the amount of traffic that we get to our sites, how many of those people are likely to buy. So let's, for example, add in that the conversion rate on this site is 2%, which is going to give us a great number to say that the 1,000 odd clicks through to our site at a 2% conversion rate is going to give us 21 conversions, call it 20 conversions. And that then divides the total cost in by the total conversions to give us a cost per acquisition of 240 Rand, which is good to know because now we know that if we put this budget up, we're going to get 21 sales and it's going to cost us 240 Rand per sale. But that still leaves some information unanswered to say, well, what kind of revenue am I going to generate from this campaign that I'm thinking about running on AdWords? So that's where we add in the final piece of information to say the value per conversion, and which is essentially your average conversion, your average basket size. So let's, for this example, let's say it's 1,000 Rand. So it gives us more detail up at the summary here. Now it tells us that with the same numbers, we've got the same advertising spend, we've got the same clicks through to our site, we've got the same number of sales, but when we tell them that our sales on average are 1,000 Rand, well, it then works out that we got 21 sales, which equals 21,000 Rand. 21,000 Rand. Yeah, 21. Sorry, my math is a bit off. So we've now made 21,000 Rand in sales, which is good. So now we know that our return on advertising spend is 4.1, which is pretty good. But there's still a missing element and a critical element of that. In fact, the most critical element, because the question is still unanswered to say, well, will we make money off this campaign? Would we actually make a profit? And this number is something that you need to be on top of. And that number is the margin, because we need to figure out if we're making 21,000 Rand of sales and it's costing us 240 Rand per sale, per acquisition, then are we going to make a profit? So let's break that down to say that on average, our average basket size is 1,000 Rand, and that sale is costing us 240 Rand to get the sale, which means that 24% of our conversion of our income of that sale is going to advertising to get the sale. So in a simplest example, if the margin on that sale was 24% and we had no other expenses to factor in, then in this case, we would break even. We wouldn't have made a profit. We wouldn't have made any losses. So that's not the best place to be. So we need our margin to be higher than 24% in this case. So if our margin was 30%, we would make 6% profit, which is 60 Rand on a 1,000 Rand sale. It's not amazing. So we need our margin to be even higher. Or what we need is our cost per acquisition to be lower. So you can then play around with these numbers to say, well, I don't want my maximum cost per click. I don't want to be bidding up to 14 Rand per click. I want to change this down to, let's say, 7 Rand on that one. And you'll see all the numbers adjust. So that means that my cost per acquisition became cheaper, but I'm going to get slightly less sales. This is a rounded number, but your sales would be slightly down because your adverts on Google AdWords are going to be ranked slightly below. But in overall, we are making more profit because now our cost per acquisition has come down. So we're still making 1,000 Rand sales. We're still making 21,000 Rand overall revenue from this campaign, but our cost per acquisition went down from 240 Rand to 220 Rand. So we made a little bit more profit. What you really need to consider is how much margin you have in terms of your sales. Can we push up the conversion rate? Can we get our basket size to be higher? Can we get our cost, our advertising spend to be lower? Can we make our return on advertising spend higher? Can we get more impressions? Can we get more clicks? Can we reduce our cost? And this is why I love playing with this tool, because you have no commitment. You can just change numbers. You can just do what you like, and you can start again. You can scrap it. You can redo it, and you can play with these numbers to predict how many people in South Africa are looking for your product and likely to buy your product, so that you can forecast your potential sales and importantly, the profit that you will make off selling these products inside your online store in South Africa. So that's why I love this tool. I love playing with it. And I think that you should bookmark this, get a link to it. If you don't have an AdWords account yet, just set it up just for this sake. And of course, what AdWords really want you to do is, at the end of playing with all of this, you just come up here and say, create campaign. That's their goal, is to give you a campaign creation tool. And we can do that if you like. But my major use of this particular tool is to figure out how much money we're going to make with a new product. And you can do exactly the same. And it's absolutely free. So go and play with this, go and use it, and give us your feedback within the group. So this is a great tool. Go and get into it right now.